My name is Michael Gersch. I'm the CEO of LabKey, and I'll be kicking us off and starting off the day, and then Hannah will be speaking. So first off, a big welcome to everybody. Thank you for virtually joining our user conference. We really appreciate the opportunity to connect with everybody. So why do we do this? Why do we host this conference? This is something we've hosted every year for many, many years. And first and foremost, we do it to try and inspire everybody on ideas on how organizations are using LabKey and how they can use LabKey to further their research. Second, we give you a chance to learn from us. We're very proud and excited about the product updates we've made and the product updates we're going to continue to make. So it gives you a chance to learn about that vision and give us your feedback. It also gives us a chance to share best practices, both directly from LabKey colleagues, but also from users of LabKey. And then finally, it's the chance to connect in the virtual sense, but to connect with other organizations. As you can see, the presenter list that we have below is very impressive. We also have LabKey colleagues that will be speaking. We've got folks joining us from academia, from other nonprofits, from government entities, from biotech, from pharmaceutical companies, a real wide range of audience today joining us. And so we appreciate everybody's time. I think we've got 16 countries represented today. So I didn't say good morning or good afternoon, good evening, trying to keep it general for everybody. But again, thank you for joining us today, and a big thanks to Will for all his coordination to make this the event it is, and to all of our speakers for their time and energy and preparation for the next 3 days. So I think this is I always think of this as my annual opportunity to do a couple of things. One is to just let you know, how are we doing as a company? I recognize when you select us as a partner, when you decide to work with us from a relationship perspective, and of course from a software perspective, you're investing your time, you're investing your money, you're investing your energy in us as a partnership. So I like to kind of give you how's LabKey doing and how's LabKey been growing in the past year, because I think it helps give you that comfort level of our continued growth as we have doing this for almost 20 years now and plan to do it for many, many more. So first off, 2022 has been a big year for us. We had a 27% increase in clients. So a lot of organizations choosing to partner with us and work with us. We are working with 7 of the top 10 pharma companies. So a good representation of those very, very large pharmaceutical organizations. We continue from our roots at the Hutch to have a lot of partnerships with both academia and nonprofits and government organizations across the globe. And about 2/3 of our clients are from nonprofit organizations. Finally, in the past year, 75% of our new clients have chosen to work with us in our cloud, in the LabKey cloud. And we think that's great because it often makes it for an easier and more efficient relationship. And I'll touch on that a little more, as will others throughout these 3 days. But 75% of our new clients are in the cloud. We still recognize not everybody has that ability or has that decision-making ability with their organization. They need to be on-prem, and we still have as you can see, 25% going on-prem or in their own cloud. And then lastly, like I mentioned at the beginning, we are in a number of countries. We're now at 20+ countries. So while we are headquartered in the US, we very much appreciate and enjoy our partnerships worldwide. So thank you. So as I mentioned, we are working with over 500 global research organizations, and we use the word trust, and we take that word seriously. And we know there's lots of other options, but you choose to work with us, and we appreciate that trust. And I can say, for myself and on behalf of all the employees of LabKey, the work you do inspires us. It's why we came to work for LabKey, why we continue to work for LabKey, and what makes us passionate about what we do is the work that you do, the research that you do. So I say this every year, but this is from my heart. I appreciate it, and thank you for the work you're doing and for the opportunity to work together. Thank you. So where have we been focusing? What are our focus areas that drive our decision making, that drive our time and our investment? And really, these are the 3 things that we are focusing on. And you're going to hear it from Hannah and Bernie and Adam and Josh's presentations. These same 3 themes. So first off is ease of use. We recognize the more our software is going to be easier to use, it's going to get you the adoption you want to enable data sharing, to enable collaboration, to enable the value that you want from the software. So we continue to work and focus on ease of use. Second is efficiency. We understand you have limited resources, whether that's people, whether that's time, whether that's money. So anything we can do with our partnerships to provide you time savings or financial savings or efficiency gains are going to help you and help you capture your research goals faster. And finally, growth. We recognize that most organizations have growth plans and they want to pick a partner and work with a software partner that can grow with them. So having software tools that grow along those stages of growth is very important to all of you. So, okay, how did those areas of focus translate to some of the things we've done, some of the investments we've made in the past year? So first off, on ease of use, to put it mildly, we actively solicit user feedback. Our product managers, our account managers, our UX team is always looking for feedback. That's feedback from our current users. That's also feedback from our future users. How do we make our products better? How do we deliver more value to you? And that's something we're going to continue to do. I think it's something that's just so deeply in our DNA, probably coming back to when we started the company at the Hutch and came from a need that they had that led to the creation of LabKey. In the past year, we've increased our user experience team. Those are the folks who are really, have that keen skill and are dedicated to working with you to understand how do we make our products, how do we improve the user experience of our products. And then ease of implementation. We know the easier it is to get started, the easier it is to support our software, that provides you value, which is a nice transition to efficiency and our cloud infrastructure. I mentioned 75% of our new clients are making the choice to be with the LabKey cloud, and we recognize that just makes it easier to maintain and support the software, to have those releases done by us, to have that security, to have that comfort that we're taking care of it for you. So that's an area that we realize that provides a lot of efficiency and as well as ease of use. Secondly, our data connected ELN. Having an ELN that can capture all of your lab work in one system and then securely maintain that information and share that information with the right folks really is an area that can provide greater efficiency to you and your organizations. We've increased our account management team. We realize one of the things that makes LabKey different is our account managers, folks who really understand our software, also the different use cases and best practices, and partner with you right from the beginning and through the journey of working with LabKey to give you that sense of partnership and help, and also that share best practices. And then growth. As I mentioned before, we recognize that organizations that start with LabKey, their needs expand over time. And as their needs expand, we need to have a suite of offering of products that grow with you. We recognize that when labs are just starting out, maybe it's just easy to have that data and share it with everybody on the team. But as you grow, you work with others. You have other teams and other organizations. And we've worked hard on creating projects to make it really easy to partition that data and decide which organizations, which users can and can't see the data, what role they have, what rights they have to that data. So by projects is an area that really helps and allows for you to have that growth. And then finally, HIPAA compliant and validation offerings. So speaking about growth and our products of growth, what are the solutions we offer today? And as you can see from this visual, they grow over time, starting at the very beginning with Sample Manager, helping organizations who may be using Excel and are breaking the value of what a worksheet can do, having Sample Manager to help with managing the samples and their freezers, and then growing with us in terms of an integrated ELN and managing assay data. And then as your team's complexity grows, to have workflows to help understand who's doing what in the lab, who's working on what, who has that next step of workflow management. And then finally in LIMS, we're going to talk about our newly launched biologic LIMS a lot over the next couple of days, in particular on day 2, where you get into quality control and the need for querying and reporting and more analytics, integration with other databases and other systems. And then finally, really kind of where we started, but is in terms of our LabKey Server SDMS that provides additional capability for study management and different assays and advanced assays for organizations that have the needs to customize, whether they want us to be doing some of the customization or they have teams themselves that want to customize and have the platform work for their specific needs. And then finally, automated data capture and transformation. So you'll hear these same themes and you'll learn about these products quite a bit over the next 3 days. So how does our agenda look? Well, starting off today is going to be Hannah, and she's our Director of Product Management. And then after Hannah's going to talk about Sample Manager, you're going to hear from two of our users. You're going to hear from Sydney from Oregon Health and Sciences University and Dylan from the Ohio State University. And both of them are going to share how their organizations are using Sample Manager. And then following, Hannah's going to close out the day with a presentation on how to never lose a sample again. So surely 4 presentations you're going to want to attend. Day 2 is a bit different. Day 2, we focus on biologics LIMS and Panorama. Bernie, our Director of Product Manager and Client Services, is going to start off and introduce benefits and the features of our newly launched biologic LIMS. After Bernie, Adam Rauch, our VP of Product Strategy, is going to highlight how to extend biologics LIMS with the Enterprise Edition and how it can fit into existing systems and your existing data infrastructure. And Bernie's going to give a demo, talk about different use cases about biologics LIMS and how it works. And then finally, we're going to be joined by a past presenter, by Lindsay Pino, who's the CTO and co-founder of Talis Bioscience. She's going to share best practices for monitoring both sample processing and instrument performance when scaling mass spectrometry proteomics. So that's day 2. Day 3 is going to have a heavy dose of, again, the LabKey users. Josh, our CTO, is going to start us off, and he's going to share some of the latest features and updates of LabKey Server, the SDMS. Then after Josh, we're going to have basically a Q&A session that Steve's going to lead from LabKey with Arnaud, who's a head of development and manufacturing informatics at Takeda. It's going to be interesting to see what he's done with the LabKey Server SDMS for process development and how LabKey fits into their broader digital ecosystem at Takeda. Next is Rochelle Farkas. She's a research methods specialist at CAMH. CAMH is Canada's largest mental health research facility. So she's going to describe how they're using LabKey Server in combination with Sample Manager to manage a large repository of samples. Okay, then finally, Wenjin, who's a data scientist supervisor at Seattle Children's Therapeutics, is going to show how their team at the Correlative Data Studies Laboratory has developed a new React application on LabKey Server to capture patient enrollment information and track it with other applications from multiple input sources. Excuse me. So really an exciting 3 days. We tried to do it over 3 days so that you could join for sessions that you wanted to. But again, please give us feedback, both for the content that we're discussing this week together, but for other content you'd like to see, for maybe presentations you'd like to give on your use cases of LabKey, or presentations that you'd like to hear and learn more about. We really appreciate that feedback. Like I said, it helps us make our product stronger. So please, use the Q&A, give us the feedback, both for today and then for the journey throughout the next year. We plan on doing a lot more content presentations and a lot more user presentations in the year forward. So Will and the team, we really would like to hear from you about what are topics that you'd like to hear covered. So with that, I now pass the presentation on to Hannah. And again, thank you for the partnership and thank you for joining us today and this week.